Kelly and B.B. Shea, another award-winning podcast day for us. And I must say, you look great.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
When you walked in, I just said, this guy, what is it, a haircut?
Got a haircut.
Got
a beard trim.
I think it looks good. You know, when you get my age, my hair is now, like, you can't really do as much with it. And people say, I love your haircut. I haven't had it yet. And I'll just say, oh, thanks. I really appreciate that.
Well, see, I've been doing the same thing for the last 20 years. I let my hair get long, and then I buzz it. And I'm kind of tired of doing the same thing over and over. So I walked up to the barbershop, and I just said, just do something. I don't know what.
I think, respectfully, I think you look really good right now. Good haircut, and your beard is like an appropriate.
Sure.
And it's not like sometimes, it gets out of control.
It gets a little scraggly. Yeah, understandable.
I don't like that. I don't know how those pitchers in baseball that have beards, I don't see them as much as I used to. But they used to have, like, beards down to their chest.
Or like the O-linemen of the NFL. I don't understand, dude.
Or guys with long hair in the NFL, like the dreadlocks that stick out. I've seen guys get tackled by those before.
People rip their dreadlocks off, too. I think it's got a lot to do with testosterone. I really do.
Oh, do you?
Like, when you do stuff like that, when you're hitting people all the time, I feel like that just boosts your body's testosterone, and you get those full, big beards like that.
You grow it, and you don't change it.
Or like being born in Iowa, I think helps out a lot, too, probably.
Apparently. I had a guy tell me recently that he feels a lot better because he started taking, and I think he was just messing with me, like human growth hormone. He's like, do it. He said, do it. You'll feel 1,000 times better. And I said, and he's about my age. And I said, in fact, he's a few years younger than me. And he said, yeah, my wife got me on. He goes, everybody's on human growth hormone. I don't think that's true.
They are. I think that's a lie.
I think he's trying to get me to take a product that will screw me up and mess me up.
It'll make you feel good for the moment, but then, when you get older in age, that's going to have some weird effects on you.
Makes your balls shrink, doesn't
exactly,
it?
Yes. But the older you get, do you really need your balls, though?
I don't need them now.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe you should start taking those HGH hormones.
Human growth hormone. Now, that is, like Barry Bonds takes it, of course, and or other players, and they are, not in the Hall of Fame. But in reality, if just you or if I took it to feel, I wonder if that would do something.
It probably would. You would probably feel incredible.
You think?
Listen, I had a buddy I went to college with who played football in high school.
Yes.
And he openly told me for the entire time he played, he took steroids regularly.
Yeah.
And he said it was the best he ever felt in his entire life. Yeah. An adverse effect where they talk about your wiener getting smaller, he said it made it bigger.
Did he really?
Yes. He said
his wiener got bigger on steroids.
Because that's what I asked him. I'm like, dude, doesn't that make your junk smaller? He goes, no, made it bigger. Don't know why that's a lie.
Get out of here.
On 100%.
If that's a real thing, people be after that more than they're after Ozempic.
Absolutely. If they made a Dick Ozempic, I'm telling you, man.
Dick-Zempic.
It would hit the shelves. Flying off the shelves.
Everybody would raise their hand for that.
I have it. Yeah, I get it.
Of course they would.
Yeah.
Wow, that's it.
But now, my buddy, he has like terrible back problems and is like kind of frail now. So, like I said, when you're using it, you feel good, but then after you stop, it kind of messes you up.
Well, why ever stop?
Exactly.
Keep it going.
Keep it going.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
They just take it. So what is he now in his 30s?
Late 20s, early 30s, yeah.
Ooh, that young.
Yeah, no, he's got like bad back problems too.
Oh, and does he blame it on the steroids?
Well, he had an injury, back injury, but like it didn't do him any favors with all that stuff that was in his body. So,
do you know? Yeah. I used to drink a lot. I mentioned this the other day. I used to drink a lot of Celsius, that energy drink.
Great drink, by the way.
Love it.
Yes.
Love it. I was drinking too much. I drank at one point like 4 a day, which is like 16 cups of coffee.
That's a lot, dude.
That's way too much. My wife limited me to 2 a day, but I would sneak them.
Okay.
And so I do like it. I mean, it's by far the best energy drink.
Were you drinking it more for the flavor or for the energy? Did you need that much energy?
No, I just like the flavor.
It tasted good.
Well, I gave up Diet Coke.
Okay.
I lost weight and I gave up Diet Coke. And I used to be a huge Diet Coke. I just feel like I need something in my life that that I can feel. Otherwise, I'm just numb to everything.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So, and I considered cocaine, and I said no. And I considered ecstasy, and I said no. All these things. But when I got off, they say soft drinks are the worst thing for you. So I said, I'm going to allow myself 1 Celsius a day, but 1 over time turned into 4.
Yeah.
And well, I didn't know this at the time, but then I gave them up somewhat recently. I stopped drinking those. and I had like lower back pain and it went away. And I think it's because my kidneys were giving me problems.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you drink a lot of soda that stop, you will start feeling, because that's happened to me too.
How much soda are you on, or were you on at your highest?
When I drank soda a lot when I was like 15, 16 maybe.
Mountain Dew?
No, I would drink a lot of Coke and Pepsi.
Yeah.
And maybe I would have like 3 a day at the most. I drank it a lot, but it was never in a lot of volume, you know?
Yeah.
And then like I would start drinking water and I was like, oh,
that makes everything feel better. But you don't get I do like, and I've tried a lot of different like, things that are somewhat not even carbonated, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you're looking for the burn.
Yeah,
you want the burn.
Diet Coke and then Celsius gives me a burn.
Yes,
that I don't get other places. I've tried it. I can't get it other places.
And I know water's good for you. You're supposed to drink water, but damn, I need a little bit of flavor. I'm right there with you. I need a little bit of flavor. I need something to just. I need that feeling.
But my problem is, I know this is my issue. If I had 1 Diet Coke today, tomorrow I'd have 2, and in 3 days I'd have 5, and I'd be on it again.
Yeah.
And I can't do that. But seriously, the Celsius. I mean, you're only really supposed to have 1. It says on the can, like, you must be over 16 and you must only drink 1 a day. It's like, my God, what am I putting in my body? But I love it. I love it.
There's this drink called Ice. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
I've seen it.
Those skinny bottles.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried that?
No, is it good?
I think you would like that.
Is it similar to...
No, it's not an energy drink.
Okay.
But it's got a good carbonated flavor.
Oh, really?
And it's got a good sweet flavor, too.
Yeah.
But it's... help better for you, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
I'm looking for something like that.
Yeah, I would try that. That one may be the one for you.
Because I don't like, I drink so much water and I get really bored with water.
100%, yeah.
God, it's like, geez, can we do something? And for a while there, I was putting Mio in my water. You ever try that?
Yes, I love Mio.
I do too, but I was basically squirting a whole bottle because then it's just like syrup.
Exactly.
And it's so good.
It just stops being water at some point. You know what I mean?
With the Celsius, my urine was a dark, deep yellow. It was a nice little, hue to it. But I knew, and when I stopped, I was like, that's getting lighter and lighter, and it's because of that.
It's when you switch back to going to strictly water, you realize, oh, this is really good for me.
It's really all you need.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. Maybe a little milk mixed in, I don't know.
But it is boring.
Oh, yeah. But water is all. I think that's why products like Mio do so well, because you flavor it up a little bit.
Well, see, that's why, I hear people, at least my age, talk about like how like tired they are. I'm like, honestly, if you would go 1 week and only drink water, you would feel so much better.
Makes you feel a lot better.
Like cook a meal at home and just drink water.
Yep.
And it'd change your life.
You sleep better.
Yeah.
When I was on Celsius, I was not, I guess I thought I was, but really I wasn't.
Yeah.
I would lay awake in bed a little bit longer. With just water, you go right to sleep and you have more energy.
Exactly.
I'm sitting here.
Look, I'm no beacon of health, but I know at least that.
No,
you know
really,
what I'm saying?
we should take you out
exactly.
of this.
I should stop talking about this completely.
But you do know it. You haven't considered the Wegovy or Ozempic or anything. Have I asked you this already?
I don't know if you have or not. Listen, this is my take on it. For the people who take it, I'm glad you're losing weight. I'm happy for you. That's not how I want to get it.
You want to do it better.
I want to do it by changing myself, the way I eat, and becoming a better person, which one of these days I hope will happen. That's how I want to get it.
You failed on a few attempts
I did,
that,
yes.
But nonetheless, you've got it going. I heard it causes stomach paralysis to like 10% of people that take it.
Yeah.
Long-term effects.
There's some things coming out about it, which I figured was going to happen eventually.
It doesn't sound good.
No.
Let me ask you this. We talked a little baseball a minute ago. At press time here, the Orioles just got knocked out of the playoffs. Do you think, and this is baseball related, do you think that teams that wait a week to play, they've won their division, like the Orioles, the Dodgers, they come out really flat?
They do.
It's an advantage to get your pitching set up, but then they come out so flat. I would almost rather be a while. Look at the Rangers go to the American League Championship Series. They weren't even that good during the season.
No, they weren't.
They just get hot at the right time, and you're forced to play,
it's very similar to the NCAA basketball tournaments, If you come out hot and you win your conference and you just keep playing, that's why all these like 16 and 8 or 14 seeds make it to the Final Four. They just get hot at the right time.
That's true with the NCAA.
And I'll tell you, yes, but I agree. I think, if you wait and you kind of just like rest a little bit, I think it does affect you 100%.
Are you pro or con this NIL money that is beefing up football so much?
I am pro NIL money, and mainly because of people like Armando Bacot for UNC.
Yes,
and I'll tell you why.
Exactly,
year. Because he's not going to be an NBA star,
right?
And he is not going to. He might not even get drafted,
right?
But if he stays at Carolina for 4 years and makes money, that gives him a good start when he goes out into the real world.
Really, the type of money he makes, even more than that. I mean,
absolutely,
it's a great. Set. I was very against it.
Yeah.
In many ways, I've said, "Oh, it's killing sports." I think it's helping football more than anything. But I'm reading recently. I'm starting to change my mind on it because players are staying. Like, there's a lot of great college football quarterbacks right now.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing because the NFL draft next year will have 6 great quarterbacks coming out, 1 or 2 of them might say, I'll just stay back because I would be knocked to being a 2nd or 3rd round pick. Mm-hmm. So I'll just stay back, make as much money as I would as a 2nd or 3rd round pick, and still stay at whatever college.
Sure.
And college, it helps college football.
It does.
I think
it helps college athletics. It does 100%.
I agree.
Because that was the main problem, with the one and
losing
done.
Everybody.
The one and done, they come around for a year. There's no time to build up like a repertoire between the players. You know what I'm saying? Or camaraderie between the players. But now if you have senior leaders and there's more than one of them.
I like it. I hate to say that because I just felt like, my God, all these college kids are getting paid millions of dollars because some of them are. But I do think, like in football, I hear it's going to really benefit teams like Texas, where there's a lot of money and a lot of alumni that want to give, and they've gotten better already.
It's like USC.
Another Michigan. These are schools that really, whereas I think Alabama won't be as good because there's not as much money in Alabama.
True.
I mean, they've taken a little step back this year.
100%. Yeah, they're not a powerhouse anymore.
Not like they were.
No.
I mean, they could build back up. I think teams like Clemson and Alabama, could be wrong.
Yeah.
Clemson and Alabama, where there's not as much money as Texas, Southern California, Michigan.
Yeah.
Go up, and those teams come down a bit. But, they're still
that is
good.
Interesting.
Don't you think? Because the places where there are more money, you get more. Colorado, because of Deion Sanders, and will get.
I mean,
players.
There's money in Boulder too. But, it's going to have the same effect on those West Coast teams in college basketball, too.
Yeah.
Like, Bronny James going to USC.
Yeah.
There's going to be a resurgence out there. UCLA is going to be a powerhouse very soon.
And they've gotten pretty big again.
People like that. I think the Blue Bloods are going to be taking a step back as well.
Yeah, you're probably right. Baby. But, I did also hear this. I said, if you look at college football 40 years ago, the best teams were Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan, LSU, Notre Dame, USC. Look at it today; it's the exact same team.
Exactly.
They're still good.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
But this isn't a sports podcast.
No, it's not. So we don't do sports. Do you have an overrated, underrated?
I do.
Often do.
I started watching this documentary on Netflix about UFO encounters, and I want to know what you think about UFOs, ghosts, cryptozoology, about like Bigfoot and stuff. Does any of that stuff interest you? How do you feel about all that stuff?
I don't believe in that stuff.
You don't believe in any of it at all?
I don't think that's true. No, I don't. I think it's always there's a legitimate explanation for it. So I'm never convinced there's a ghost or anything. I've never witnessed it for real.
Never had like a weird experience?
I've never really had that. Although I do hear, as soon as you say it, people say, oh, I was in this room and, whatever, and I talked to my dead grandmother or whatever it is. I hate not to believe them because some people really have realistic stories.
Exactly, yeah.
Do you think it's real? Do you think
I do. Yeah. I mean, listen, I was watching this documentary about these kids in Zimbabwe, and like they're at the school, and these 2 kids like had a face-to-face encounter with what they said was an alien.
Yeah.
And they're old now, and they still have this. But there was one kid, apart from 60, who said it was all fake. It's weird, though, because I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe, but
it is.
I want to believe that it's real.
The guy who played, did you watch The Office?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
I love The Office.
Everybody says how great. I've never seen one episode of it.
Okay.
I watched the British version.
Of course you did.
That's
and you called
flex.
me contrarian.
You see how I
and you
flexed on
saw the British
What
version.
came out first?
Nobody knows the British. Who watches the British version?
I thought the British version's incredible TV.
I think you'd like The Office if you gave it a shot.
I think a lot of people say that.
Yeah.
I probably will eventually. Probably when I retire.
There you go.
I'll sit down with The Office. The guy who played, Rainn
Wilson. Yeah.
Okay.
He played a Dwight Schrute in the show.
Saw him on a talk show. Probably it was like Ellen or some show like that. And he said when he was very young, 7 or 8, but has a real memory of it, he and his family moved into a house. They were traveled a lot when he was kids, and so they moved into a house for like a year, and they would hear things at night and wake up the next morning, and the furniture was all rearranged.
Yeah.
And they heard from locals, that house is haunted, so-and-so, but you've got a friendly ghost. So the dad put one night the furniture was all in place, and he put like tape around where the furniture was, or chalk. And the next morning, it was all changed. I mean, it was outside.
That doesn't make you consider
it
question
it
at all.
It does.
You know?
I don't know why. I guess until I see it for myself.
I think you're the type of person you've got to like have an experience.
Yeah, and I never have, but I do hear a lot of stuff like that. And then people say, well, and he said, I know my dad didn't lie to me. We got up the next day and all the furniture was moved around. But every time I've ever been close to it, it's not real.
I've had a supernatural experience.
What was your supernatural? This is good timing here around Halloween time.
Yes, exactly. I'm convinced I talked to my dead grandpa.
You are?
In a dream.
When was that?
He died in 2014.
Yeah.
And this was maybe 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in the family kind of had a tough time when he passed. He was very close, had a very great relationship with him. Yeah. And when he died, it was kind of sudden, so there wasn't a lot of like closure, I guess.
Yeah.
So it kind of affected people for a while in the family. And I had a dream one night where I was in a room. Mm-hmm. It was just this white room, and there was a phone ringing. And I go and pick up the phone, and it was my grandpa.
Mm-hmm.
And in my dream, I couldn't understand how it was happening.
Right.
I'm like, this is not, how am I talking to you right now?
Yeah.
And physically, outside of my dream, like my actual body, I started crying.
Really?
Because I was that.
While you were asleep?
Yeah. I felt my face like cringe up, like I was crying. And I was talking to him on the phone. I was like, how are we doing? What's going on? Like, blah, 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 blah. And he just kept saying, like, everything's fine.
He said that.
That's what he said. He said, everything's fine. Don't worry. I'm okay. Blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
Which there was a man and the woman in the background talking who I assumed was his mother who died giving birth to him.
Wow.
And my uncle, his son, who passed at like 30.
Wow.
So it was a very,
you think that?
100%.
You don't think that's just all inside your head?
No, I really don't. Because nothing ever like that's happened before. And the timing was perfect.
Yes.
Because I was really having a tough time with it.
Right.
And then I've never really struggled with it since. I feel like that was the little bit of closure that I needed.
That's what you needed.
Yeah.
Well, I do believe in heaven.
Yeah, I do too.
I do.
Yeah.
I believe in the, I do. So I guess I should say I do. But, do people get caught in between sometimes?
See, I don't know. But I mean, because I don't think he was in between.
You think
he
was in heaven?
There.
He's in heaven.
Yes.
But allowed a call.
But allowed, and just kind of like gave me a little bit of, reassurance and stuff.
You know, my thing about heaven, I've asked this a few times, and everybody always says I'm silly for asking it. But let's say you're married when you're 25, okay, and you live 30 years with a wife. And the wife dies. So like your high school sweetheart or whatever, and she dies. Okay, it's 30 years, she dies, you're 55. All right, now, 2 years later, you've dated another woman, you're 57, you marry a second time, you live with her till you're 87 or 90.
Yeah.
She dies, okay? So now you've lived 30 years with both of them. You die 3 years later when you're 92 or 3, okay? When you get to heaven, who are you with?
Who are you talking to?
These two hate each other. Because, or is there rivalry?
I don't necessarily know if they would hate each other.
Is there rivalry?
I don't think those emotions exist in heaven.
I agree with you.
I
hope
think
that's
that
true.
when you're there, you kind of like, look, this was a thing. We were a thing. Obviously, I moved on.
Awkward,
and,
though.
it
Awkward.
Probably would be a little
My
awkward.
wife told me not to remarry. She said, whatever.
She's going to haunt you, absolutely.
She said, don't dare. Have you ever seen a movie? I guarantee you haven't. It's called Defending Your Life with Albert Brooks. No. You know Albert Brooks?
I know Albert Brooks.
Funny.
Never seen that.
This is a good movie. Meryl Streep is in it.
Okay.
It's called Defending Your Life. He dies.
Yeah.
And what happens is you have to go to an area between earth and heaven and prove yourself. They look back at like 6 or 7 days of your life and judge, are you ready to move on? Otherwise, you go back and become something else. And you've had a lot of past lives. It sounds a little hokey, but it's really
That's
good.
kind of a good concept. I like that.
It's really good. And he's so funny. And Meryl Streep, it's like probably her least known movie. I mean, it's the only one she didn't win an Oscar for.
It's weird because, the more I talk to you, like, I learned about all these movies that I had no idea existed.
That's a great movie.
It's like I'm familiar with Meryl Streep. I know movies that she's been in, but it's those random
Literally,
ones,
by the next time we do this, you should watch Defending Your Life.
Defending Your Life.
With Albert Brooks. He may have directed it too, but he definitely started. You see Broadcast News?
I've never seen Broadcast News.
That's another great Albert Brooks movie. Around the late 80s, he was really hot.
I've seen Network. I don't know if that
I've
means
not seen
anything
Network,
to you.
Network's
Network's
a
solid.
great movie, too.
Yeah.
That's where it's the guys on TV.
Absolutely ranting
mad
and stuff.
as hell.
Yes.
And
I'm not going to take it anymore.
I've seen. I think I have seen that, but it's been so long I don't even remember.
Yeah.
It. That's probably one I pretend to like when I'm at parties. You know how I do.
I got you.
You know, I always, when I'm at parties, I like to say, I like to sound a little bigger than I am.
You got to cap a little bit.
Very often I do that. Let me ask you this. This is an age difference thing. Do you, I just heard that Generation Z, which you're a millennial. Generation Z is now making fun of the millennials and older for a phrase that they use, out of pocket. When I say I'm out of pocket, do you know what that means?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It just kind of means like it's just kind of like random. Doesn't really.
No.
It's kind of hard to explain.
Out of pocket for me has always meant I'm not going to be in the office this afternoon. If I say to you, I'm out of pocket, so like you won't be able to get in touch with me for the rest of it. That's what I've always, like when somebody says, okay, let's talk now because I'll be out of pocket for the next 6 hours.
I'd never heard that phrase. Never heard that phrase used that way.
Well, now when you look it up in the dictionary, it means like expenses with your insurance plan, like
like you're paying out of pocket. Sure,
right.
Okay,
and that's the only. But today, a lot of Gen Zers know it as I'm going out and going crazy and I'm coming unhinged.
Sure, yeah.
So when somebody says I'm out of pocket, so a lot of people apparently are using it the way I know how to use it, which is I'm out of pocket, meaning I'm leaving. And the Gen Z take it as you're going out to go crazy.
Well, see, like if you came in here and just said something crazy, like, I don't know, just say something off the wall, that would be like, oh, this dude's out of pocket.
Oh, you
right
say
now.
that. You've heard that, yeah.
I mean, I don't say it often, but that's what I think about when I hear that.
No, for us, for my age, at least growing up, it's always when somebody's like, I'm not reachable. I'm going to the movies. You won't be able to reach me for the next 3 hours.
Yeah.
So I'll be out of pocket for 3 hours. Let's discuss this plan now. That's different now. I guess that term has changed.
No, like out of pocket is just kind of like something off the wall, I guess.
Okay, well, I guess that's that's your...
Yeah, that's kind of what I think about it.
You all change everything. You know, it used to like the pound sign is now the hashtag sign.
Yeah.
And I know. And by the way, I had to redo my apps. I had to freshen my phone, and the little Twitter bird finally changed to X.
Just at X now.
Yeah, just like yesterday, it changed to X. I hated to see it go.
It's a change. It's like it's a weird time.
I feel like that's the worst marketing decision anybody has ever made.
And it was so damn fast.
I don't know why
there was no time to adjust to it. It's X now. Okay, it's X now.
Who am I to say anything to Elon Musk? But I thought that was a terrible idea.
It was. Doesn't make any sense to me. It was
branded really well as Twitter. And now he's made it something that I don't think everybody still says Twitter.
No, 100%. Nobody says X anymore.
It's really it'll take a long, long time.
Yeah.
But I was around when KFC used to be Kentucky Fried Chicken. You know it's Kentucky Fried Chicken.
What?
You don't know KFC is Kentucky Fried Chicken? You did.
I thought it was KFC. Those letters mean something?
You did not.
I'm just messing with you. Yeah, okay, I know what KFC means.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, when I was they changed it like in 1987. It just went to KFC.
Yeah.
And my sister said at the time, why are they doing that? Everybody's going to always call it Kentucky Fried Chicken. And I said, yeah, well, I don't know, because she had a young son. And I was like, he's 2 years old. When he's 30, and now he is, more than that, he's going to only know it as KFC. So eventually the branding
It's kind of like Dunkin' Donut. Now it's
Dunkin'.
And Domino's, too. It's just Domino's, not Domino's Pizza.
Yeah, they do some odd marketing things. I like them. I think Domino's Pizza, in my opinion, has gotten better over the years. When I was younger, that pizza was trash. It was trashy, and now I think it's good.
I disagree. Like
really?
When I was growing up, I feel like that was prime Domino's.
Really?
Like in the early 2000s. But then later, when they started making the crust too garlicky, that's when they messed up.
Well, now here's why. When I was young, a teenager, now we're talking 80s, okay? We didn't have a Domino's. We saw it on TV. It was like this mystical thing. Because they would deliver it in 30 minutes or less, or it was free. They used to do that. Now, that caused a lot of car accidents.
Yeah, of course.
So they'd stop that. But they guaranteed 30 minutes or less, or it's free. So the first night we could have it, my friend Brian Thomas was over. We're watching horror movies. And it was like, we're ordering Domino's.
Yeah.
And we ordered it, and they delivered it. And I remember thinking, this is not even close to as good as I hoped it would be. The sauce wasn't good. The sauce was terrible. Now, they changed the sauce and the garlic crust.
Yeah.
I think they did that 10 years ago?
Maybe something like that. Maybe
I think they really improved it.
Okay.
I think they were battling Papa John's and had to improve it. And I think they did.
I was watching a show called, did you ever watch Man vs. Food?
No.
Okay, there was this guy named Adam Richmond. He would go and do bunch of food competitions. I was watching the show. It's called Adam Eats the 80s.
Yeah.
Which you might enjoy that. That may be something that you can watch. Yeah. Where he goes and he talks about stuff that was available when he was a kid. I didn't know that Domino's had a breakfast pizza at one point.
Man, I vaguely remember
They had a pizza with like sausage and egg on it.
Yeah.
And they delivered it to you with a hot cup of coffee and a newspaper.
That's pretty
and
smart.
it was only around for like 2 or 3 years
I was gonna say, not
in select
long.
markets.
That's an interesting
Wouldn't that
idea.
be wild, though? Get a
That's-
pizza delivered at like 8 o'clock in the morning?
I don't think it ever worked.
No, it didn't last long.
But, at one point, Burger King said they were going to serve like Whoppers in the morning if you want.
Yeah.
And I don't think that works.
That would be, I would love that.
I would do that.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't care what time. I will eat. I would eat a burger any time of the day. It doesn't, people say you have to wait or what.
No.
I never believe that.
I feel the same way with like cake.
Okay, well.
I'll eat cake any time of the day, too.
You should be cutting my eyes at that guy eating cake in the meeting yesterday.
No.
Well, there's a guy that I know and you know, and he's on a diet, and somebody had a birthday yesterday.
Yeah.
We were all in the same meeting, and he was vacuuming up cake in there. He had a half a cake on his plate. And I looked, and our coworker Katie looked at me, and I could not hide my disgust, and she started laughing. And I was like, I better shut myself up here because I'm so judgmental.
Because he's on a weight loss program too.
Yeah, the same one.
Yeah, the exact same one.
I don't get cake.
Oh man,
and he does.
It was a good cake.
Well, you had it.
I did.
Oh, I saw you hogging it in too.
I'm not on that weight loss plan either.
I said, baby Shea,
so
what are you
I
doing?
thoroughly enjoyed the cake.
What are you doing? That looked like good cake. I like that kind of. That's chocolate all over. I mean, it's all chocolate.
Speaking of pizza, what's your favorite pizza place?
Sir Pizza.
I've never had it.
I know you haven't.
I've never had it.
Next time, we should order a Sir Pizza in here.
Eat it live?
And eat it live.
I'd be down with that.
You do a food podcast.
Yes.
But it doesn't deliver, and it's only in, it's 30 miles from here. That's the thing. But I get a royal feast from Sir Pizza with extra tomato sauce and absolutely love it. But I grew up in the town in little Ashburn, North Carolina, where there's only like 5 or 6 of them. That was one of the originals. And we all love it. But people who move in sometimes get it and go, I don't understand it.
I've heard nothing but amazing things about it.
It probably is oversold to you. You won't live up to the hype. It's cut in a different way. It's sliced
squared.
Square.
And they do the little pepperonis, right?
Yeah, little pepperonis, little sausage. Yeah. I love the sauce. I order with extra tomato sauce. I love it.
Really?
I've always loved it. And but some people say to me, it tastes like a really good frozen pizza, like a really good DiGiorno's.
That's not a great...
No, it's not.
It's not a great thing to say.
I disagree with that. I mean, I love it. So... we used to get Sir Pizza all the time, and when we got a Domino's, we ordered it, and it wasn't even good. I was like, that's no good.
What about pizza? Do you like pizza? Do you like a stuffed
I like Pizza
crust?
Hut. I don't do stuffed crust.
Really?
Very much. I mean, I've done it occasionally with the cheese, but not much.
Oh, dude, I love a stuffed crust, man. You know, my absolute least favorite pizza place is Little Caesars.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap.
I hate Little Caesars pizza.
I think that's a pretty cheap pizza.
They used to have one in the Kmart where I grew up.
That's high living right there.
Even now, when I see a standalone Little Caesars, it just doesn't sit right with me.
You know what they've done is they've got like the pizza refrigerator where you go in, or the pizza heater, and you go in there and pick it out. You just get it out. That's
trust me.
smart.
When I was in college, it saved my life. Like a $5 large pizza was, But ever since then, I haven't had it.
You don't like it?
No.
I think of the ones that are big, I really like Domino's. Papa John's I like. Do you like Papa John's?
I do like Papa John's, yeah. I think Pizza Hut's my top. I
like Pizza Hut, too.
Their breadsticks are...
We used to have Pizza Inn, which was excellent.
Okay.
And I think it's making a comeback, and I thought that was very good.
Pizza Inn?
Yeah, it's a little bit different than the crust is a little thinner, I think.
Yeah.
It's pretty good pizza, though. I don't know. Do you like Chicago-style pizza?
I'll tell you what. No.
No.
I had it. I've been to Chicago, and I've had it. It's too much. It's way too much. And I know that sounds weird coming from me.
From you?
But it's way too much. Like, we got there, and then we had to wait an hour and a half for it to cook.
And it's huge.
And it's so thick. And I ate one piece, and I didn't even eat any more of it.
You know what I really like is Jets, which is similar to that, but it's a buffalo-style pizza. It's thick.
Oh, okay.
Thick. Have you ever had it?
No, never had Jets.
It's good. I like their thick crust. That's the one
Detroit style is really good.
Maybe that's what Jets is.
Detroit style is like they put the sauce on top. A little bit on top of the cheese.
That's the Jets pizza is Detroit. Detroit, yeah, I've heard that.
Detroit style is great.
That's home slice. No, that's Buffalo. Buffalo is home slice pizza.
Yeah, Buffalo.
And I hear that's good too. I mean, I've had it. It's good. It's good too. But I like New York over Chicago.
All pizza's good pizza.
Well,
I mean, to an extent, I've never really had a bad pizza, honestly.
I like New York over Chicago.
I do too. Yeah. Like a big floppy slice, you can't beat that.
I think that's very, very
good. From the Sbarro at the mall.
That pizza's been there a while. I think that pizza has been there since the 80s, since I flipped over. Sbarro always looks good. I always eat it and think, this is awful.
Every time I'd go to the mall with my mom, we'd get a Sbarro piece of pizza, and she would tell the dude, she would say, get this boy the biggest slice of pepperoni pizza you got.
And it paid off. You've done it. Look at that.
Mom.
I can tell that it worked. You know what my mother used to do to me? she would feed like that. She would feed. I'd be at home and she'd feed me all this stuff. And then like the next morning she'd go, you're getting a little thick in your chest. I loved her. But boy, she would, and she was a great cook.
Yeah.
And we'd eat like Sunday dinner, we'd either have lasagna or fried chicken and mashed potatoes. I mean, all the stuff, and pizza. And she would always give me extra. She'd keep piling on my plate. And then suddenly she'd go, you're getting a little thick in your chest. You know what that was? Man boobs.
Yeah.
Thick in your chest means the moves
Get a little
that
stuff
I
right
developed.
here.
Yes.
Well, my mom never body shamed me, thankfully.
I do it to my kids, which I
Really?
like. Yeah. I just did it. My son the other day, he was home from college. I said, you're getting a little soft there. He walked through without a shirt on. I said, you're getting a little soft there. Again, it's the second time I've done it.
Yeah, what do you say?
He said, I got my body from you. I said, you can get it from me, Jack. I told him.
Is he enjoying the food at school? Is he got good options
He's very close
around
to the
there?
dining hall.
Really?
You can tell. Yeah.
Wow.
But he does enjoy it. He's doing very well with that. I just saw that it was part of the top 20 pieces of advice you should give yourself when you're younger and really listen to.
Okay.
And number one was look after your health while you're young, because it gets harder and harder as you get older.
When do you stop being young?
I think 30.
Am I past that?
I
Okay.
think 30.
So I need to start doing it now.
I mean, honestly, if you at age 16 started eating right and exercising, you'd have a long, healthy life.
Sure,
I believe. I mean, you never know.
It's hard to convince a 16-year-old that they're going to die.
This was advice you'd give your 16-year-old self, and you have to listen to it. The other one was don't care what other people think.
I like that.
I
think that's very important to tell people.
I do too, but it's hard because when you're 16, all you care about is what other people think.
That's the one thing I try to tell young folk if I can. I was like, the things that matter to you right now are have no bearing on your life in 10 years.
They won't matter.
No, it doesn't matter at all.
The reason they said to start eating healthy then is because, of course, your metabolism slows down as you get older, and it's harder as you get to make that battle as you get older. Save 10% of your paycheck. I tell you that.
Yeah.
Put it away.
I don't make enough to save 10%.
Put 10%
I got to
of your
spend it
paycheck
all.
away. I always say that to you. You know that.
Yeah.
You know how that is. And then don't worry so much, because most of the things you worry about don't ever happen. I find that to me about myself.
What's that rule? Or is it like a law or something? The more you worry about something, the harder it's going to be.
Yeah, because you. Sure, I worry about this and that, and most of it never comes to fruition.
No, absolutely. You're never
you worry
even
about
presented...
getting fired, and you don't get fired.
Exactly.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
Do you want to finish with another overrated, underrated, or shall we call it a day?
That's up to you, man.
Another one is relax and enjoy the ride. I've relaxed and enjoyed this. This has been very
I've enjoyed
nice.
this. Well, I'm interested in your sleepaway camp you're going to.
I'm getting ready to go
Going
on
to
that.
a Friday the 13th
Yes,
Camp Crystal Lake reenactment type situation.
It's a Camp Crystal Lake. The movie came out in 1979. I saw it when I was 8 years old.
Yeah.
Scared to death of it. Later, and in fact, that's a lot of people think that my fear of sex is because of Friday the 13th. Because everybody that had sex got killed moments later. I mean,
Friday the 13th is Jason, right?
Yeah, that's Jason.
Okay, gotcha.
But in the first one, it's his mother. Have you seen these?
No, I've never seen any of them.
Oh my God!
See, I'm
Classics.
not a
classic. Friday the 13th, 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, the old ones from 79, 81, 82, whatever. Friday the 13th, 1, 2, 3. It's all the same thing.
Yeah,
it's a bunch of camp counselors go up to camp. They have sex. They get drunk. They smoke weed, and they all get butchered. So I was afraid of sex when I was in my teens.
That may explain a lot. Okay,
it's a
makes
mental
sense.
thing. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I waited so long to have sex.
If I fornicate, I'm going to die.
Exactly. I really think that no girl would touch me.
By a psychopath in a hockey mask.
Yes. Right. You think that's going to happen. So now who knew that 43 years later, a group of fine, upstanding adults would travel all the way to New Jersey, where they shot the movie, and will be sleeping around Camp Crystal Lake where Jason attacked.
That's cool. I like the fact that stuff like that exists.
I hear it's really, really good. And I'm going tomorrow. As of the time we're recording, and next week I'll tell you how it was. Yeah. But it apparently the reviews are it's fantastic.
How many people are going to be there? Do you know?
I'm not positive. I think it sleeps like 20. I mean, so it's not huge, and they have different dates through the year, but only a few. And apparently they really do it right. And the campground and the town where they filmed it is exactly the same as well. They keep it the same. Yeah.
So it's like 3 days, 3 days, 2 nights.
It's 1 night. It's like it's like 24 hours. You get there,
really?
But then you can go out on your own and see the town. You're all on the camp, and they give you a little swag bag and show you everything. And I think some of the actors are there too.
And you stay overnight.
You stay overnight.
You get like a meal.
Yeah, you get 2 meals. You get
you get
dinner and breakfast.
You get to stay in the campsite.
You campground, and you take your own sleeping bag, and they show the movie, and they have a discussion.
I'm afraid to ask, and I want to ask, and I know you may not want to say, but how much are you paying for this?
Oh, it's incredibly expensive.
Really?
More than you'd think it is, yeah. You know
I probably wouldn't be shocked by the price.
$950.
That's shocking to me. That's a shocking price. But listen, I'm not mad at you. You pay for the experience. Do what you want to do.
Lifetime. It's a once in a lifetime.
You're a grown ass man. You can do whatever you want.
A grown man.
Exactly.
My wife reacted differently to that. Now she gets to go on her true crime.
What did she say?
She said, "Are you serious? 900?" And she was like, "Are you serious? You saw this when you were a boy. Why? Yeah. Why would you do?" But she goes to do her stuff too. She likes true crime, and she goes out and watches, trials and stuff like that.
I don't know if there's anything I would pay $950 to go do. Honestly,
it's a tough one. That's
outside of like a World Series ticket.
Even that, man, that's a lot, isn't it? A World Series.
I don't know.
I think I'm ready to say I just watch sports at home. It's a better seat when you're at home. And it's so much
I disagree. If it's your team and it's at home with a bunch of like-minded fans, it definitely ups the situation a little bit.
It's fun, especially I like baseball.
Yeah.
Football, I think you get such a great view on television of all.
I agree.
And
football games are so overrated, I think.
I agree. The thing about it, like you go to an NFL football game, and I've been to 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And what you don't realize, and I would go, some of them were cold, and of course you have like 3 or 4 minute blocks of commercials. Well, the players just stand there on the field, and you're just standing there. You're just sitting watching the game.
Yeah.
The football, which is, I love football, but in a 3-hour game action is usually like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
they're in the huddle.
Yeah,
or it's almost
like actual time playing the game. Yeah, you're right. 20 minutes tops.
Yeah, it's like 7 or 8 seconds of play.
Yeah,
and you could condense that game down to 15 or 20 minutes, even if you take a little beat between each play.
Also, what do you think about? I love the fact that the first round of MLB playoffs are still 5-game series.
I do too.
I think the NBA should do that.
Oh, I do too.
I don't think every series in the NBA needs to be a best-of-7 series.
No. Of course, absolutely not.
I don't know why they changed that.
No,
well, I know why they changed it, because to make money. But I was watching the first round, divisional round, and I was like, I love that these are best-of-5 games.
It's great.
Get it going, man.
Let's go.
Let's
best
get
of
to
3,
the
then best of
championship
5.
series.
When I was a kid, the American League Championship Series and the National League were best out of 5.
Really?
Yeah, and they went to best out of 7 in the 80s.
Okay.
And when I was young, because you had to win, all it was there were 4 divisions, 2 in the American League, 2 in the National League. You had to win your division.
Yeah.
And so the pennant races were great. And then, like in the American League, if let's say the Yankees won the East and the Royals won the West, they met. Best out of 5. That was it. And then you move on to a best of 7 World Series.
I love that.
It was great.
Yeah.
But of course, it was so much shorter.
Yeah.
The World Series was over on October 15th. You don't even get to it now. You play it in November sometimes now. Well, I'll let you know how Camp Crystal Lake
I'm excited to hear more about this.
Sleepaway Camp was. And we'll be back more into the baseball playoffs. I've enjoyed this today.
Absolutely. It's a good
time. Keep
time.
that look that you've got.
I'm going to keep it around for a while.
Keep it around.
I like
It'll
it.
take some effort.
I've been getting a lot of good reviews on it. Somebody told me that I look healthy.
You do.
Which was nice to hear.
You
do. Yeah,
I like healthy might be a stretch. You look but you look good. All right, that's the best you've looked in a while. I like that we're on camera doing this.
I do too. Yeah.
Back again next week, the Square and the Round podcast.